How you doing? My name is Bandini, and this is Balcony Talk with the 316 Project. See what we got here, man. All right, I grab two. No, that's fine. What or who inspired you to take up the pen? When did you actively start pursuing music? All right. The things that inspire me to take up the pen is I have way too many inspirations for this shit, but I'll just give you like my top three inspirations. It would for surely be Currency, Boldy James, and Larry June, And when I actively started pursuing music, it would have been March of 2022. So, just a few years. How would you describe your artistry and sound? What are some common themes that you like to cover? All right, ways I would describe my artistry, I would say it's very cinematic. I'm always trying to pull certain feelings or certain things from a movie and stuff like that. So I would say that would be the biggest way to describe my sound and everything. Some of my common themes that I like to cover, it goes back to the movies, I like a lot of vintage things, and I just incorporate a lot of things like that with the music and stuff like that, and just see what I like to cook up and come up with. Let's see. What does hip hop mean to you? What do you love about it? What does it need less of? Okay. I can be here all day for that question as well. Hip hop means a lot to me. It's an outlet. It's therapy. It's a lot of things, But hip hop is always gonna hold a special place close to my heart, just 'cause the way it came about, I've always listened to, hip hop. I've always listened to hip hop music and rap and stuff like that. But when that bug hit me, and when I needed to start rapping and stuff like that, it just hit me in a whole different way. And now I'm just really stuck with this shit. So that's what hip hop means to me, What I love about it, I love how universal it is. I love how you can connect with somebody that you don't know anything, you don't know anything fucking about them, right? But the beautiful thing is that we all have two common grounds and we all meet in the middle on this music shit. And that can create some of the best relationships in your life. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what I love about it. What does it need less of? I feel like musically needs less of people wanting it for a dollar bill. I feel like it's real art in this shit, and I feel like it gets so clouded with the people that's chasing it for the money versus chasing it for the art or the creativity aspect of things, So yeah, I feel like once people start getting back to the roots of the shit and just really doing this shit for the art, not doing this shit to see if they'll like you, to see if they'll fuck with you, to see how much money you can get off this shit, I feel like it'll be in a more authentic place once things like that tone down a little bit more, What is the origin of your name? All right. Back in the '60s, there was a Formula One racer by the name of Lorenzo Bandini, and that was just a name that really stuck to me, it's also a double entendre, but it's just something that stuck with a nigga. You see what I'm saying? So, and I also like some of the, like I said, I love vintage things. I love the aesthetic of some, certain things. So that had a lot to do with the inspiration of what came out of my name and stuff like that. So. What's a genre outside of hip hop that inspires you that would surprise your listeners? I'm gonna be real 100 with you. I'm gonna keep it a beam. I love bedroom pop, bro. Like as far as that indie shit and all that shit, like when it comes to Mac DeMarco, Clairo, Alice Phoebe Lou, Yellow Days, just a bunch of artists of that nature and shit. I love that shit. You see what I'm saying? I know, like, on some certain projects, y'all can hear the inspiration in that shit, because it's there. You know what I'm saying? You know, I have a certain, just shit like that. You know, I really love alternative indie. And, you know, the shit like that. So, yeah, that's what keeps my heartstrings going. What we got here, man? Who are some artists who are heavily in rotation for you right now? That's a great question. Of course myself. Yeah, of course myself. I have a fucked up, like, yeah. But some of the outside artists is, of course, Currency, Larry June, Jay Worthy, Bodie James, Westside Gunn. Just in that genre of things, you know? But like I said, I listen to so many genres of music, y'all can't keep track with this shit, y'all. I'm gonna be real. I was just listening to Sister Carol before I pulled up. You know, Gregory Isaacs, Lee Perry. Like, it's too many to name. Peter Tosh. All the way back to the Lauryn Hill, the Erykah Badu's, the Livs, you know? I just listen to so much shit. This shit, it could make someone's head fucking explode, man. But that shit changes by the day. I listen to what I feel like listening to in that time, you know? So, what separates you from other artists? I feel like my versatility plays a big role in my artistry. Sometimes when I don't feel like rapping on an oldies loop, or, you know, I'll go all the way to some shit that sounds like, you know, Steve Lacy should have hopped on or some shit. So it's hard. I feel like it's hard to keep me in a box, and I feel like that's what keeps people surprised, because, you know, I get tired of rapping about some shit sometimes, but even though, you know, it is what it is, but, you know, sometimes I just want to switch it up. So yeah, I feel like, you know, that's what separates me from other artists, is my versatility. And see what we got here, man. Okay. Talk about your most recent project and what inspired it. What's next for you? My most recent project was Fiorano Circuit Drafts, Side A, Prima Gira. And one of the things that inspired it is it has a lot of Italian influence in it. You know, from the cover art all the way just down to just certain, you know, just to the track list of it, you know what I'm saying? So it has a lot of inspirations in that, but I feel like the most key inspiration is the Italian influence that I threw into the project, you know? One of the things, I'm tripping. What's next for you? I have Side B coming. It's gonna be a more soulful, oldies type situations, you know? I have an EP with Trap A coming up. And just stuff like that. I have a lot more coming out, but I'm not gonna tell the left hand too much what the right hand doing. You see what I'm saying? So y'all just gotta stay tuned. Okay. Who would be included in your dream collaboration? Oh, that's a good question, right? Because I have a lot of favorite artists, but sometimes I just can't see myself in their work, and I'm pretty sure it's like that, vice versa. You know what I'm saying? As far as as far as other artists, I look at them as somewhat of like rap peers. So for it to be a dream collaboration, I feel like it's an overstatement. You get what I'm saying? Cause yeah, but I will take a collaboration with the Alchemist or something. So yeah. How do you stay motivated? I stay motivated by doing a plethora of things. And sometimes it could be something so simple, so random, just like, or just, it could just be watching a movie on a Sunday afternoon, or being outside on a beautiful day. You see what I'm saying? That's literally the little stuff that inspires me, that just makes me want to write. You know what I'm saying? So I get a lot of motivations from a lot of things. I can't really just pinpoint one thing on that, but it could just be anything from me seeing something beautiful across the room, or just me being, walking by myself late at night or something. It could be anything. So, yeah. Couple moments, motherfucker. What's the best compliment you've been given on a song or project? No skips is forever gonna be the best compliment, especially when you're making music and shit. Like when you hear a few people say it's like, "Hey, bro, you had no skips on your last project." That is a great feeling. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I would just say a little shit like that, man. But yeah, don't let it jade you too much, though. It's still tunnel vision at the end of the day. But who doesn't love a good compliment? Am I right? Let's see what we got, yeah. Best question for last, man. Let's see what it is. How has your craft evolved over time since your first project or single? Hey, my craft evolved in a crazy way, bro. You see what I'm saying? Just from the delivery to the wordplay, to the sounds, from my first project, which is the Art of Hustling EP. If y'all listen to that, of course it's still gonna sound good, you know what I'm saying? But if you listen to that, and you listen to my most recent project, Feel Run, I promise you're gonna hear the difference. You're gonna hear the growth, you're gonna hear the elevation, and you're just gonna hear some better shit in my opinion, but it's all still good shit. So. And hey, this is Bandini, and this is Balcony Talk with the 316 Project. You can find my music on all streaming platforms. You can find me on IG exclusively, Bandini_GSC. See what I'm saying? I have a Twitter too, but I'm fucked up right now. What can I say?